Alright, chat. Did y'all get yourself some snackies? Because we're going spelunking. Got myself a granola bar to eat. So I'm not going to jump on it right away?
Hello, my
Soon.
friend. Stay a while and listen.
Soon.
Well, what can I do for you?
Spelunking in Hellfire. I think that's what happens when you're, what's it called? The black tank? Has that air bubble in it and you flush. And that happens after you've had Taco Bell or the Dynamite sweet and sour chicken. Or Dynamite spicy sweet and sour chicken. That is, I think, spelunking in Hellfire. Volcano. And no, you didn't give me trouble with Rhonda or anything. She was just saying that was kind of crazy. The first thing that I said on mic. Which won't be part of the uploaded VOD since I wasn't recording at that point, so. VOD viewers are furious! Well, I mean, it'll be on the VOD on Twitch, but giant VOD, but not the YouTube VOD. Hot and heavy, not even a hello, just stream. Pretty much. I mean, we were talking about shit already in the chat, right? Because I mean, we were talking about Stormgate, so. But I saw actually something on Stormgate that I think was a pretty good summary of everything that happened with that game. Maybe I can load it up and read it while we're playing. So y'all, do you have anything good, Griswold? Two-handed sword of haste. That's not good. Neither is the Tower Shield of Ages. You disappoint me, Griswold. With gear like that, he's just gonna become a zombie, man. A cursed zombie, even.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Check Wirt. Wirt the Squirt. Name on the stream title to anything else just to see. Wait, what is the stream title right now? So wait, are you saying change the category or change also because of April 1st? Oh, the category. I mean, I could change it to retro. I don't want to be like completely in the wrong category. Doing body paint work on my breasts. And then it's just the cat playing Diablo. Scale Mail of the Ages, okay. What Wadsday did? Or is doing and swap with the Star Ocean. They're playing. I didn't actually mean to click on the stairwell down, but
It's hot down here.
you did, apparently. It's hot down here. That's right, we're trying out the Sword of Haste. It's the Sword of Haste. You mean to click the stairway to... You mean that wasn't the stairway to heaven? Ah, shit, here we go again. Another spelunking adventure. We've got a long way to the next level, too. I don't think we'll hit 37 tonight, but let's see how much progress we can make. You mean Gordon Ramsay's here? But wait, is it UK television Gordon Ramsay, where he's like actually a decent human being, or is it American television Gordon Ramsay, where he just fucking yells at everybody? I mean, yeah, body paint is a thing that, like, some people do on Twitch. Yeah, that's right, things can actually hit us. I mean, like, it's nice that we attack faster, but I miss the big damage that we were doing. Kind of mellowed out nowadays. Well, that's the thing, like, even, like, prior to all of his, like, American television shows, if you watch, like, his stuff that's older than that, that was on UK television, he's, like, actually decent. Like, he doesn't just yell at people. It was just, like, for American audiences, that's what seemed to click, so if the show was intended for American audiences, that's how he would behave. Also, be very careful, watching his Hotel Nightmares show, which I think was done in the UK, you see his ass a lot. Like, just unnecessary shots of him just butt naked. And you just walking and you see his ass, like... yeah, unnecessary bathing shots. It's just not what I would expect to see from the show, but... Some dirty tub too, yeah, basically. Oh, what is... Hold on. I got a ping from a server, and I wanted to actually go to the ping, and instead it doesn't do that. Oh. Okay. Discord was just trying to save me from disappointment. That wasn't really that disappointing, but... oh, I did want to read, so... I linked it in a Discord, so I'm clicking the link now. Okay. So, there was a post a day ago, on Reddit, and I forget when this was actually announced in, on Discord, but I saw somebody sharing this, that the game Stormgate by Frost Giant has to shut their servers down. Well, they don't have to, but their servers are getting shut down because the hosting service that they used for their game servers is basically stopping service because of all of the AI stuff that's going on. The host is focusing on AI services, and so not anymore going to support like game server stuff. So they announced, Frost Giant announced that they, you know, because of that, their multiplayer servers are going to be closing, and they are going to be releasing a patch so that the game can be played in offline mode. And maybe at some point in the future they will have multiplayer servers again, which is, honestly, that's a cool move from them. There's a lot of like online only games end up, you know, like disappearing, and then there's no way to play it because it's online only, and the devs like never release a patch, right? So that's actually really cool. But Stormgate is an RTS game that failed pretty hard, and it was, you know, similar to how like everybody kept touting in first-person shooters. Oh, this first-person shooter is going to be the Halo killer. This is going to be the Halo killer. Like, they were trying to say that their game was going to be like the Brood War killer, right? Did not materialize. I think they peaked at like, I saw they peaked at like 5,000 concurrent players or something like that at one point. So someone summed up kind of the whole situation of what happened with Stormgate pretty well on Reddit in a comment on a post. And it lines up with a lot of the stuff that I've seen in various places, but it was like a really good spot to put it, right? So Total Acast on Reddit commented on this, saying Stormgate is a cautionary tale on how not to design a successful RTS or design a successful any game for that matter. There were so many mistakes made by Frost Giant, it's unfathomable, but Tim Morton, the CEO, is the primary person to blame. I won't ruin your pleasant evening with all the gory details of why Stormgate failed, but I'll give you some highlights. Right, and this person's not even going to cover everything that happened, but they do cover a good chunk here. I just gotta make sure I don't frickin' die while I'm looking at the post. Suck. Hear these hellstones. Okay. So by March of 2022, Frost Giant had raised roughly $35 million for Stormgate through professional investors. This is a dream budget for any RTS. Most modern RTS games are made on a fraction of that. Planetary Annihilation had a budget of $2 million and lets you fight an RTS in a solar system with realistic orbital physics that let you slam planets into each other. Right, so they had a giant budget to start. Despite the game being fully funded, Frost Giant was already bleeding through their budget faster than they could possibly recoup their losses. The game wasn't even close to being finished or even playable. So in late 2023, to try and salvage the situation, they ran one of the most successful Kickstarters ever. And now remember, this is after they already had secured $35 million for the game. They ran a Kickstarter, and it raises over $2.3 million, but Frost Giant withheld information from the consumers. $2.3 million is practically nothing for a game with a $35 million budget. Frost Giant was already drowning, and the company was using Kickstarter as a life raft. That's not good. I didn't even realize until I read this that they had secured that much money before the Kickstarter. After the successful Kickstarter, or what would have been successful in any well-managed company, they ran another crowdfunding campaign a few months later in early 2024 on a platform called Start Engine. Raised another $1 million, and this was considered a red flag by many of the customers who had already bought the game on Kickstarter. So they raised $35 million through professional investors. They then burn through that cash, start a Kickstarter, burn through that cash, and then they do a Start Engine fundraiser and raise like another $1 million, right? And so in the summer of 2024, it's number 5.5, the game launches into early access. This is not by choice. Frost Giant is hemorrhaging money and needs the Steam community to help them keep funding the project. The game is in a terrible state. Many of the community, it feels like a pre-alpha build, is extremely rough, and the community response to the early access launch is very negative. It peaks at around 5,000 players concurrent. So after professional investors invest in it, a Kickstarter, and a Start Engine, they are still in desperate need of cash. So they put the game up for early access on Steam, hoping that the sales will help them to be able to continue to develop the game. Not good signs. 6. Facing... well, the company is still together. So 6, facing a rapidly dwindling player base and mixed Steam ratings, high-ranking Frost Giant developers, including CEO Tim Morton, are caught posting fabricated positive reviews for Stormgate on Steam. The developers altered their personal Steam account usernames to hide their identities, severely damaging the studio's reputation when the community exposed the manipulation. So their game was doing so bad and was so dependent on those Steam reviews, or that Steam money, that they were trying to fabricate false positive reviews to get more people to buy the game. Alright, so... and I do want to ask MWG about what you mentioned, but I want to get through the post first. 7. Tim Morton and company refused to admit they had been posting fake Steam reviews. Ow. So they refused to admit it, using the aliases to improve the ratings. When the proof they did became undeniable, they changed their story to say they were posting good reviews because they loved the game and that there was no deception involved. This was one of the most unbelievable developer scandals that has ever happened, and it torched any goodwill left with the community. So they got caught. They denied what they were doing, and then when it just became, the proof was they just couldn't, brush people off anymore. They basically said, well, okay, I mean, we were posting stuff, but, we weren't trying to pretend like we were other people. We just really liked the game, and so we wanted to post stuff. Number 8. By the summer of 2025, they are forced to push the game out of early access and into full release to try and secure funding for a company that is already drowning in debt with no way to pay back their investors. At this point, Tim Morton is taking personal loans against his own property to try and keep the game afloat. Which, if that's true, at least I guess he's starting to take on personal risk himself, I guess. But for something that's already failing. Point 8. By summer of... point 9, rather. At Gamescom 2025, Tim announces to the audience that the game has been a flop and warns that without more funding or investors, Frost Giant will have to resort to bleak tactics such as mass layoffs or declaring bankruptcy. In point 10, when the game was fully released, quote-unquote, it still played like a beta and wanted to charge its Kickstarter investors even further for the $60 premium edition, quote-unquote, which included all the content and heroes the game had to offer. So if this sounds like a lot, you haven't heard anything. This is really just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many scandals that the Total A cast didn't even bother going into. Like Tim Morton having a secret Reddit account that he used to argue with the community members that their criticisms of the game were invalid and they were stupid. And I remember seeing people post out that when it was happening. This went on for years. Or the god-tier cope of Tim Morton's weekly LinkedIn posts where he does a post-mortem on this game while blaming an oversaturated market and the expectations of players being too high for Stormgate's failures. And I remember seeing screenshots of those rants as well when they were happening. The sycophants on LinkedIn happily pat him on the back and tell him it's not his fault in true r/LinkedIn lunatics fashion. If anyone ever dares to tell Tim it was his fault on LinkedIn, they immediately get jumped on by his delusional groupies. At this point, he's still begging, literally begging online, for someone to just give Frost Giant another $5 million so that they can make another game and save the company. The sequence of events beggars belief. It's too surreal to be true. Even their final message in Discord blaming Athera for being bought by an AI company is a blatant fucking lie. Oh, okay, that's apparently a lie. I didn't notice that part. Athera migrated all their servers to Mitrado before the merger. There was no reason for Frost Giant had to shut down the servers. This was inevitable because they could no longer afford to pay them, or pay for them to be hosted. No, we're talking about Frost Giant's game, what was it called? I said it earlier. Stormgate. So that's the post that breaks down. But there is some stuff that it didn't cover. It popped in my head while I was reading. There's the LinkedIn stuff. Shoot, what was it? There was something, or maybe it was the LinkedIn stuff I was thinking, but it does cover that. Oh no, I remember now. Some other people, I was reading like some other comments and stuff. Apparently Tim Morton was behind a game that became Command & Conquer Generals. And like it flopped really hard or something. I remember seeing some people commenting about that. I think it was Tim Morton, they said. I mean, Tim Morton was on StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, and Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne. But on the Frozen Throne, he was the campaign director or writer or something like that. He was like the lead person on how the campaign was written. And I forget what his position was on StarCraft 2's Legacy of the Void. But yeah, Aaron, from what you're saying, like, this is what happens when people don't deserve positions of power or are given those positions. Like, I mean, the thing is, like, I think I actually don't know if he started Frost Giant or, like, you know, just stepped in as CEO, but I think the only game they've produced is Stormgate. And I saw some other commenters too being like, how do you like pit Space Marines against demons, against angels, and fuck it up? Like, and not make it cool. They found a way, apparently. Yeah, so what were you saying about Grant's channel? Let me see. I scroll up real quick. Yeah, don't touch another game by this company ever again. So that because his livelihood was dependent on that game doing good, and the writing was on the wall that the game was shit, he basically killed his channel. And then went into a rant on why RTS gaming is dead. I really do think that one of the biggest problems with RTS gaming today is that everybody goes into developing an RTS to try and make an esport. They just really want, and I believe, you know, StarCraft 2 isn't exactly dead, but I think it never got as large as Brood War. I don't think it has the lasting power that Brood War has, because they tried to make it a esport. Another thing is, a lot of the times when companies try to do this, they patch the hell out of the game. And you never have time for a meta to actually really form and settle. I don't think you necessarily... Oof, we're actually taking some hits here. Let me get in the corner. I'm not really worried about the Frost Chargers, but the Lava Lords are smacking us pretty good right now. But like StarCraft Brood War, it wasn't ever meant to be an esport. Like, esports really weren't a thing when StarCraft was developed, right? They just wanted to make a cool RTS with a cool world and a cool world building and cool story. And it had multiplayer, but like, shit's not balanced really in StarCraft. And it hasn't received, like, it received patches over time and stuff, right? But they were mainly like fixes more than anything else. I would like to kill those guys, but I like can't get over there.
Not enough mana.
Okay. Well, the guys that were launching shit at me. Yeah, it took South Korea to make StarCraft an esport. Now that's like the magic that everybody is trying to capture, right? That you get big money, big sponsorships, you know, you get tournaments, you get all this stuff. And so, like, games get balance patches every, like, couple of months and stuff, but, like, you look at, StarCraft Bluehorn. I don't really remember this unique guy. I probably just don't ever really see him very often, so his name just doesn't jump out to me. But yeah, because it is floor... No, this is floor 11, not 10. Maybe I just never really noticed his name. But yeah, like... I don't know. It's just, you need time for meta to settle. Like, when they did StarCraft Remastered, they asked the pros, like, do you want us to do any balance changes? Or, like, you know, like, what do you think would... And the pros are just like, no, don't touch the game. Like, don't touch the units, don't touch the interactions of the units, don't touch that stuff. They did, like, touch a little bit. They fixed some pathing things, I believe. But, like, barely. Actually, no, maybe they didn't. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I think map makers just got better at detecting, like, unit vortexes on maps, and are now able to predict when and where this will happen on a map, so they can, like, design them out of the map, right? I got myself a drink and I left it in the kitchen. I will be right back. I gotta go grab that. Right back. And mounts. Okay, that's actually a lot of guys. A lot of guys that are double slappers too. I think another problem is that... Oh, back. Like, game companies are looking at that, sort of like you mentioned, microtransactions, jokingly, but like, not necessarily just microtransactions, but companies aren't looking to just make money off the sale of their games anymore. Well, some are, right? But, like, if you're looking to make something an esport, you are expecting the majority of the money you're going to make off the game to come from other revenues than just sales. And I don't know. I just don't think that's going to work well for something. Like, you can't force something to become an esport. You can't force people to want to play it. Right? And that's not to say that, like, there shouldn't be a ladder, an official ladder. There shouldn't be, you know, like, online services supplied by the game dev. But I think some things, like, need the community to kind of build it. Because the community has to want it to begin with. And there has to be enough of a community to support it. Otherwise, you're just gonna burn through 35 million of professional investor money, and then another 2 million of Kickstarter money, and then another million of Start Engine money, and then be begging online for another 5 million to just try and save the company while you're taking out personal loans at risk of your, you know, against your own properties. And so, like, now, I have heard people say that the engine that they built for RTS is good, and I think that was actually part of their monetary plan as well, or monetization plan as well, is to make an engine that's good and then license that engine out to other developers. But I don't know, that feels a little bit weird in an RTS. Like, I know Dota, for instance, kind of spawned from Warcraft 3 custom maps, right? So, now granted, when Dota released as its own standalone game, they had to basically build the engine again, right? They had to rebuild the engine and stuff, but don't forget to wash your belly button. But why would I disturb that beautiful flora of bacteria that's growing there, man? Dude. This floor is actually kind of dangerous. And this is the play session where I decide to yap. I was trying to click and just have it walk the rest of the way, but I guess this actually is long. Oh, son of a... That's telekinesis. Possible tornadoes tomorrow? I hope I don't get any. I very much dislike that where I live now gets tornado warnings and watches and shit. Like, that... I just used to. That sort of thing used to be, like, super rare where I lived. Like, if it happened, it was like a once in a century kind of thing. Like, it has happened twice in my life. So I guess this may be like once every 20 years almost type of situation. But now it's like, we've already had like 3 or 4 storms where it was like, tornado warning, tornado watch. It's just like, really? This isn't supposed to happen here. As I shake my fist angrily at the sky. And a guy coming up behind us, but I had to get in front of this door. Yeah, that was my rant about Frost Giant and the Reddit comment post. Was damn, but he couldn't get across the lava. Now, what would be really funny in an ironic way would be if Frost Giant goes belly up, right? They dissolve, they're gone, and then like maybe 5 years after that or so, Stormgate becomes an esport. Some other company, you know, buys up the IP and just sells it, doesn't touch it, doesn't make mod or balance patches or anything. And then people, or maybe they make like 1 or 2 balance patches and then they stop, and then the game takes off. That would be funny in an ironic way. But I think the game actually needs way more work than that would be, so I don't think that's realistic. I see you up there, Frost Charger. See you down there, Lava Lords. Alright, corner. 69. Probably don't specifically need the corner here, but just try to hit the grave key to like see our build situation like it's Diablo 2. Alright, so that did not give us even a little section. It says, is this in tens, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So that didn't even give us a tenth of the experience we need. So we have a lot of trips to do down here. I have not drank any soju in a while. I've been using the syrups from Treehouse more than like consuming alcohol.
Stay a while and listen. Whoa, what can I do for you?
That's readable magic, so we'll read that.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
It's magic. You can read that lightning bolt. We had a little bit of rain earlier. I think it stopped already. And it was raining this morning too, if I remember right. I think we had thunderstorms last night.
Good day. How may I serve you?
Actually, I should probably sell that. It's not Those are better. That's what, 31 magic instead of 22 magic. Actually, I don't need my directions.
How may I serve you? Over here.
What you got, Wirt? Ruthless Bow of Thunder. That's actually kind of an interesting bow. I mean, we don't use bows, but that's actually kind of interesting. On a crappy base, though. And sure, that is lightning arrows. Crap, but crapping open? Cracking open. I don't know.
It's hot down here.
What the? Oh. Didn't mean to go back to town. We got greeted with a Hall of Mirrors right off the bat. Give me 1 second here. Okay. There's a second Hall of Mirrors up there. This seed is cursed. I gotta post this in the DevilutionX Discord. mean, our gear is pretty much the same. 1 second. Had some granola go in a weird spot. Yeah, this is new. We bought this last time, like at the end. We're trying it out instead of like the sword that just dealt a crap ton of damage. We're going with the Sword of Haste. You don't know what it was before. We have like some other gear on deck as well for resists and stuff, but it's all new to you. New Twitch account, who dis? Don't know which of those dropped from the boss, so I guess we'll just take both. Yeah, we got Royal Circlet. We got an awesome full plate mail, an awesome Shield of the Tiger. The jewelry is flexible, but right now I'm just using a Ring of Precision, or sorry, Ring of Perfection, a Gold Amulet of Harmony, and a Lapis Ring of the Tiger. Attack. You see 4 equals auto win. Damn, Wichita, that sucks that he rolled a 64 then. Like the scene in Big Daddy. It's called I Win. Oh, a unique drop. Ooh, a piece of candy. I think we found that ring before, this ring before. I think that's the... Is that the ring of engagement?
Too much baggage.
In the cast that, but alright.
Not enough mana.
I'll show you something unoptimized, Wichita. We just start the bot back up. Psh. Oh, we got bloodstones. Wait, are the death things fire? Yeah, death things are fire immune too. Oh well.
I gotta pawn some of this stuff. I can't carry anymore. I gotta pawn some of this stuff.
Stairs. In this little out like section here. Oh, there it is.
I can't carry anymore. I gotta pawn some of this stuff. too much baggage.
Are you at my snacks? Well, I just had a granola bar. Just a Quaker Valley Big Chewy chocolate chip. Real chocolate chips. Just one of those. Nothing special tonight. I could read that.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Yep, that was the Age of Engagement? Ring of Engagement. Shadow. I wonder if we have had Shadow Hunt before. We might have.
Good day. How may I serve you? Good day. How may I serve you?
Oh, we had Ice Shank. Conference time.
Well, what can I do for you?
Good day. How may I serve you?
We have a ring. Okay.
Well, what can I do for you?
Our gold is 5,000 or 500,000. 599,999. I could read right.
I sense a soul in search of answers. I sense a soul in search of answers.
Good day. How may I serve you?
Hey, Carlor. So the stash is a DevilutionX feature. Oh, play the sort of like this. Yeah, so what I'm playing is DevilutionX, which is based on the reverse engineer of Diablo 1. It has a ton of bug fixes and a lot of QOL and stuff. Like being able to click and hold instead of having to click repeatedly to attack things. And the stash is one of the quality of life updates it has. It also switches the rendering from DirectX all to SDL. He's a Boba Fett's trainer. Gotta use that for the splash loading screen. You see, I can't cheat because I can't get past that loading screen. But I should just add that as a sound effect. Not even an actual what is that called? Not drum roll, but little drum beat thing for like making a joke. It should literally just be me doing that. As bad as that is. Can't even use the scroll to teleport, that's kind of funny. Get back here, sir. Thank you for dropping the boat on the side. That thing almost escaped. Same with these barrels. How did I miss them? And just what is all this shit over here I just missed? Oh, there's a whole little section up there that I didn't go into, I think.
I can't carry anymore.
There.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Well, what can I do for you?
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Good day. How may I serve you?
What ails you, my friend?
Alright, I think that is enough runs for tonight on this character. So yeah, it looks like we've probably got like... We're missing half a bar after 2 runs on this. So depending on like the monster selections we get and how much of other floors we gotta clear on our way down to 11. We've probably got like another 9, 10 trips down there to hit level 37. So it'll probably be a little bit before we do that. But I think we might come back to this warrior tomorrow. Maybe.